Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova. You're watching the Disc Golf Pro Tour, stop number 1 for 2022 on JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
The front nine, we had Chris Dickerson, guns blazing, staying in the lead by a stroke over, or beating McMahon by a stroke, but extending his lead to 2 over Eagle, and Gannon hanging in there with a lot of really big clutch putts. Seppo with a little bit of a backtrack with that triple, the bogey stretch, but everyone else is pretty tight on the leaderboard.
Hole 10, par 4, 721, 220 meters for Seppo. Make sure he knows that. And this is a new tee spot over to the left. You're going to be throwing through a pretty tight gap. Should be manageable for this tier of player.
One of the fastest greens. Not just that it's super slopey, but it's wow.
Wow, you do not see that from Chris Dickerson very often. Totally missed the gap. Frustrated.
My name is Seppo Paju. I'm from Finland and I have been playing disc golf since 2006. Disc golf has exploded in Europe, especially in Finland where I'm from. When I got here, it's actually amazing how big it is here, but still we're catching up in Europe. Prodigy started in 2012 and my dad got this idea that maybe we should start distributing Prodigy to Europe since it was a new brand and nobody was doing it yet. So we started doing that with my siblings and now we have lots of employees and we're doing the Finnish Pro Tour, distributing more discs than ever, selling courses all over Europe. My focus this week is just enjoy the game because I've been away for so long, so I don't want to put any unnecessary pressure on myself. So I'm just here enjoying disc golf. As a player, it's not really my job, so I'm here almost on a vacation.
Seppo Paju, one of my first times ever playing with him was so many years ago, and I think he was 16 years old and came over, flew in from the States. UC Maresma drove him straight down to Rock Hill and out of the car, very little warm up, just birdied the first 12 holes at Winthrop Gold.
Wow.
I'll never forget it.
Another vacation for him.
Yeah. Impressive player since the first time I've seen him throw.
Depending on if that landed right next to that little shrubbery, he should be fine, though.
Gannon. A lot of height there, but a lot of distance. This is right where you're looking for, right down the middle of the fairway. But as I was saying while Chris was driving, this green is there's a little bit of slope to it, but the grass is so short there that you get a ton of slide near that green. A lot of roll as well, and with the basket as close to the green as it is, it could be a very scary approach shot, but Chris didn't have any option there really to go for the pin.
Height, stalled, love it.
Okay, he's going to have to work for it, but not a bad approach.
Well, it's tough because you go a little farther and it does, like you said, it gets a little bit fast just past the hole. And that...
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Surprisingly errant for Eagle. I believe that was his mutant. I don't think I've ever seen a mutant fly on Anheuser before.
Oh, he's lost this to the green, it looks like. Come on.
And that's Seppo's drive. He just absolutely annihilates the disc. And not what he was looking for on the approach, but man, that is an impressive display of distance. Chris looking to make things not so interesting. Just wanting to get that par. Should be able to clean up that 18-foot putt.
Good effort. Almost saved it, but man, what a strange approach.
From really all of them except for Gannon, I feel. Even...
Wow, he's got a little bit of meat left in the bone there.
Even Chris's went a little deep. I mean, that's not a gimme at 20 feet coming back at it.
And Gannon, one of his first misses on the putting green, just a bit high. And it's going to be all pars for this group if Seppo can clean up this putt and Chris can hit his. Seppo can't.
Wow.
Very exposed green, as you can see that wind blowing, or that flag blowing in the wind. Well, gosh, it's not really blowing much now, but...
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I heard you.
Yep, on cue.
Good putt. I know it's a good putt, and I missed that putt today. Yeah, they didn't play this hole well. I would expect a couple birdies. It wasn't playing very difficult, especially with the distance they have off the tee, to really have that option of having slow putter into the green.
Yeah, 3 of the drives were phenomenal, and the net score is 1 over par for the group.
Hole 11, par 3, 369 feet. Out of bounds, wrapping around the basket. All of that grass on the left side where the flags are is out of bounds, as well as the cart path down that entire right side.
This hole has opened up a bunch. There used to be kind of a tight gap you had to hit off the tee, and now it's pretty open, and it's playing as the easiest hole on the course at a 2.54 average. Chris has got this stalled, and it's going to stay in bounds, but well short of the pin.
That's a zone.
That's a zone?
That's a zone. I question that play.
Wow, that really surprises me.
That could be the first time playing this event type of play where maybe something he found in practice was working for him, but he also doesn't have the wealth of experience of years of playing this hole.
Eagle giving himself a look with just a straight hyzer. That's a nice play for 30 feet. I mean, it's going to be tough to really park it because of all the guardian trees there.
Oh.
And this should just be lunch meat for Gannon.
Yeah, that's nicely done. He's going to have to make a 25-foot putt for the birdie. My group came up with an interesting idea for this hole with the opened up green and tee area. That right side ditch could be potentially an out of bounds in the future and kind of make this fairway even narrower.
It wouldn't surprise me.
There's another spike hyzer.
And that is up there near the circle's edge.
Yeah, pretty good.
There's so many places on this course where they brought the green in and new OB ropes. Chris with a good bit off the cage.
Looked good for a long time.
But a lot of new out of bounds that it's probably mostly there just to accommodate the spectators. Take the average of those 2 putts, and you got 2 birdies there for Eagle and Chris.
Seppo needs this one.
And
there we go.
Has not had a par since hole 2.
Wow.
He's definitely putting in a lot of work on that course.
He's on vacation.
Yeah.
It's too much work for vacation.
Gannon, clean card. Nothing special, but out here, it's really, that's what you have to do, is nothing special. Get a few birds here and there, avoid those red numbers, and you're going to come in with a fine score no matter what.
On to hole 12, par 3, 396. This one is pretty obscured from view because of the hills in between you and the basket. You'd like to throw as a righty a nice flat backhand that swings in late, but there is an out-of-bounds cart path down the right side of the fairway.
Overstable fairway driver from Gannon, and that's going to be short and left. There is a green over there.
That's a pretty good drive, though. And the difficulty of that shot, I think he didn't look difficult, but it is a high level of execution. So much shorter tee pad to get this type of distance. And
Oh, no.
This looks a little inside.
There is OB.
oh, I think he's going to find it. And
Yeah,
that's that
there's OB left.
spectator OB. That is a new out-of-bounds line, and if you weren't taking good notes in practice, you might be surprised by the result there. Had a couple of those on our card. Chris keeping this low, going to play along that hillside. Oh, and just catching the front of it. If that's just a foot higher, I think he's inside the circle, no question.
Yeah, those hills are tough that way. You don't want to go flying over them. You just got to barely get around that corner and slide your way up to the basket, unless you've got this kind of speed.
Boy.
I remember this from last year.
Yeah, I can't forget it. I try and I can't. Wow.
I think he hit
Don't
the
go
bucket.
B. Don't go B. Oh,
No way.
That's so cruel.
I think he hit the top.
It was really close, that's for sure.
There is no justice in that shot being penalized.
I mean, you're throwing it 9 billion miles into the sky.
You just would think, though, it's like running out of speed and energy at that point, but not for Eagle. Our discs are like wounded ducks at that point, and they're just going to stick on the ground wherever they hit. His is still
100
moving.
short of the basket.
Yeah, not mine. Mine's a different kind of bird. It's nesting at the top of that bad boy.
Speaking of nesting, Eagle's egg is in the... Okay, never mind. There was too much there. Great par save.
So he was outside the circle. It looked shorter, didn't it, from that other angle?
Yes, it did.
That's a good putt. And he knew it instantly with the fist bump.
Goes to that step through right away as soon as he's able. And man, that thing is just frozen rope into the basket.
I didn't have a chance. I mean, I don't care what wind was present. That thing was dead center.
Yeah, spit out or
Yes.
birdie. There's nothing but a spit out's going to stop that putt. That thing is
That's right.
tracking.
So jealous of that. That's like a nice little skill to have. Something that is coming 2 inches out of your hand with that sort of speed. You see these other guys, even Eagle has a lot of touch on his longer putts to where they take a second to get there, but Gannon puts so much spin on the disc that it's
Frozen rope.
It's a frozen rope, absolutely. Which is something you're going to need if you're taking the low route on hole 13, is a frozen rope. Par 3, 387. You need to go under those branches, then somehow clear this little bunker.
One of the signature challenges in Las Vegas are these baskets protected with bunkers right in front of it.
Look at this play. Lay up.
And not really the easiest approach for him there, but I like the play, just taking away bogey from the equation, or at least out of bounds early.
Yeah,
This play, if it
too high, you know.
Close.
Even if it misses that, it has a chance of going OB left. There is OB left for that high stall hyzer. You want it to be low. Now, this is something that a few players have in the field, this spike hyzer over all of it. And this just makes the hole so much easier.
Wow.
But there's only a few people who can do that.
Louise, come on, man.
Stop it.
Awesome.
That's worth the price of admission right there, just to see that, a disc do that for these fans.
And at least Seppo looks like, I mean, it's smooth, but at least he looks like he's throwing it hard.
Wow, phenomenal.
I mean,
We can't do that either.
Yeah.
Back-to-back holes.
I came up over the hill on this shot, and the spotter yells over to me and says, Hey, Nate, Yuli told me to tell you he birdied this.
Definitely didn't tell him that. But I did birdie it. That seems like a little razzing from him. I kind of like that guy.
Are you sure you didn't say that, Paul?
Oh, I'm positive. I remember he told me, "Hey, you skipped 4 times in here and got super lucky and skipped out." And I'm like, I was thinking that I threw a good one.
Oh, Chris. That was a errant approach that also got really quick on that green and fortunately missed his par putt. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Dang it.
You know what? I think he was looking at the scorecard. He said, "Enough of this Christmas Day theme. I want a little gray in there." That's a lot of birdies and bogeys in a row.
Yeah, it is.
Tough par to take, honestly. That's one of those moments where you're just like, well, sometimes I do that.
Yeah.
And on to the next
I hope
one.
I never do it again.
But you will.
You sure will. Looking at the drone flyover of hole 14, par 4, 798 feet. Cart path OB on the left and a string line down the right side. Got the late golf green, so you're looking for as big a drive as you can get out to the right of this pine tree to set yourself up for something in that 370, 325 if you're throwing well kind of range, where you could maybe hopefully bring a mid-range into this green. You just slide it across that out of bounds and nestle it up that little hill. There is OB right behind the basket.
The really tricky part about this green is that basket is placed on the back side of the hill. So to get the right amount of distance on that hill, you really have to go in with a decent amount of speed. Otherwise, you're going to be left with that 28 to 30 foot putt. And on top of that mound, that's a very scary distance. Eagle and Gannon off the tee with
Smoked. They're just
great
smoked.
drives.
Yeah, they're just smoked, man. I was mentioning this yesterday, and then something happened where I didn't get to finish my thought, but discs do fly farther in Nevada than any place on the planet. And that's true. And proven, because the world record was set in Nevada at...
It's been set here for several years. Whatever the iteration of the record was, whatever that number was, it was in the salt flats of Prim.
Oh, and Seppo pulls that one way right. That's going to be really tough to get up and down from there.
1,100 feet. 1,108, I believe. It's not even a real number when you try to even fathom a disc going that far.
Yeah, you're just out throwing this one by 400 feet.
And we're talking about young superstars. That record by David Wiggins Jr., winning his first pro tournament at the age of 13. I was on his card when it happened, and that was the young prodigy back in the day in North Carolina when I was up and coming.
He beat you at 13. Nate.
I should have known I was setting myself up for that one. Seppo off left. It's going to be a difficult par save.
I don't know how old Anthony Barilla was when he first beat me, but he was a youngin'.
Yeah.
I remember the tournament. We're playing, and as that's a nice drive up in there, and he's gonna have a little 20-footer. But he was swinging on the swing sets in the park next to the disc golf hole, and I'm like, "You're up," and he's like swinging. Oh, I'm up, and he runs over there and parks it, and I'm just like, "Wow, I'm sitting here raw focus," and he jumps off the swing set and just runs over. Takes 2 steps, parks it. I'm like,
speaking of 2-step and parking it, Eagle maybe needed 3 steps. He's going to find himself in that 30-foot range.
no chance from there, really.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, he's really good from a knee, but when you get to that left side, if he's short of that bush, yeah, here we go. You don't look at how hard this putt is. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't even want it.
Yeah.
Wants nothing to do with it. You airball that putt, you are out of bounds, and you have 30 more feet for the bogey.
I mean, if there's anybody who can make that putt, oh no, I would say it would be Eagle or like James, because we saw him do that miraculous one. Round
17.
one.
Or
Yeah.
hole 17.
But you miss that putt and you're donezo. Gannon having himself around now.
Yeah.
He
well,
really is.
Look at these last 4 or 5 holes here. Chris Dickerson, he's going to be 1 over in the last 5, whereas Gannon is 3 down in the last 4, and just like that, he has overtaken the lead.
And it's not really an easy stretch those last 4. Those are some good gets.
Definitely.
And he laid up. Like, he completely laid up that hole.
Yeah.
Essentially played the last 4 holes perfect. Good point. Hole 15, par 3, 439 feet. You can see that red out of bounds area over there to the right. Generally not in play for these guys. They're going to be going big forehand, perhaps. A lot of rollers, a lot of backhand turnovers. Gannon's going to show off that forehand distance. This is an awesome get to have, though, late in the round.
This is nice. And catches the downslope.
Look at the play on the ground there. That is a great shot. That is going to leave him about 45 feet or so.
Yeah, not bad. Little more and he gets down that hill and he's parked. But, I mean, a little more is asking a lot. This would just be a lunchable for Eagle with the sidearm.
Yeah.
And, again, look at the shape.
Beautiful shape.
Overturned?
Oh, yeah.
Outer fingers catching it, smacking it down. Another small change in the basket position. I mean, it's essentially no more than 5 to 6 feet from where it's been every year, but it's up on that hillside now, and it just slightly changes the putting green
This is
area.
a buzz. That's aggressive. Wow.
Yeah.
Great
That
shot.
is really cool.
Pin high.
Do you think that's got to be getting into Eagle's head, not being able to just, obviously this would be a fairly easy hyzer sidearm for him, as Seppo might have overturned this a bit.
I know it's frustrating for Eagle. I was talking to him as we were kind of cooling down the other day, and he was mentioning like being 300 and getting the range on the rangefinder on a certain hole and saying, "Whoa,
Oh, no.
wow, that really got
A couple of those this back nine
Yeah,
so
if
far.
that
for
nestles
Eagle.
underneath there, that's going to be very difficult.
But yeah, he's just kind of got that 250 number in his head, and he's really trying to stay disciplined and not push it farther than that, though he knows he probably could. He's just trying to make sure he heals completely.
Very smart.
I think it's a scary thing for the field. If Eagle has to spend this time with actual tournament experience, developing the backhand shape, and he masters the 430 to 450 backhand turnover.
Ooh,
Gannon is on a heater right now, folks. What a putt. And he's going to extend that lead on this group.
Look
Another
at how
stroke.
smooth that comes out of his hand.
No flutter in that putter right there. Gannon Buhr. Boy.
golly, practices from 30, but he's good from 50 too.
Well, Eagle able to avoid disastrous approach and saves a good par.
I just think about that because right now I'm dealing with a little something in my arm, and it's frustrating for me. And I'm not at the level of Eagle McMahon trying to win all these tournaments. You know what I'm saying? And I find myself kind of trying to force it sometimes, and it's got to be frustrating. But he's holding his own, very disciplined, like you said.
Yep.
Got to take your hat off to him. Par 4, 888 feet. Used to be a par 5, not anymore with the players we have in this field. Out of bounds over here on the right side in this pond. I don't think that's going to be the trouble. It's going to be this green and the slopiness of this. Gap shouldn't be a problem either for them.
If this tee pad were 10 feet farther back, this gap would be a problem.
Yeah, and I mentioned that about on the last kind of gap shot, and then Dickerson just completely whiffed. So I hope I don't commentary curse these guys, but that's a good start.
This is a hole that in calm conditions, maybe tailwind, totally agree with par 4. If there's a headwind on this hole, it becomes closer to a par 6. It's just so far. But with these guys' drives getting 450 to 500 average, that approach shot, most of them are going to be with a good drive somewhere in that 400 range to the pin. That was pushing the right side. Chris been a little nervy over these last 6 holes. See what if he decides to get aggressive on his second shot from that drive. The Prodigy Falcor, as you alluded to earlier, Kale's new driver. Seppo liking that, and big tee shot there.
He's been just ripping that bad boy.
Gannon going to get aggressive, I think.
I just...
Wow, this is way out there.
This is going to, I think, is going to require a little bit of luck. Oh, no luck involved. Wow, big shot. There's so many willows that just catch the disc and drop it out of bounds on that right side. That was flirting with danger.
Looks better. To me, anyway.
Yeah,
I think so.
I agree.
Oh, I thought it was the plane up there. I'm like, whoa, that's going in a crazy direction.
And Chris will have a good look at the birdie. This is such an awesome birdie to get second hardest hole on the course. 4.2 average. I mean, any influence of headwind in that number, I feel like goes to 4-6.
Errant.
Heartbeat.
Errant shot there from Eagle. I mean, that's feel like kind of right in his wheelhouse.
Yes.
Look at Seppo just outdriving everyone on this card consistently. I mean, Eagle McMahon, come on.
Yeah.
That's saying so much. He'll be at the base of the hill looking up for the birdie.
Found a couple positions where he can't even run them. That's very, very frustrating. Right at that step putt range, just outside the circle, looks like.
Boy, this guy
Wow.
this back nine is child's play.
And when I said that's a tough stretch that he's picked up 3 out of 4, that was before the toughest 2 of them that he just got both of.
Wow.
On 15 and 16. So 14, 15, 16 is not messing around as turkeys go. Those are 3 really hard holes.
And just a slight miss on his putt on hole 10. Otherwise, we're talking about essentially a perfectly played back nine to this point, with him electing to play for that par on hole 13. I mean,
Yeah.
sick golf right now from Gannon Buhr on this back. Chris with a nice birdie.
Eagle McMahon misses it, otherwise star birdie on this? That's
Wow.
crazy.
It
Great.
really is.
Great birdie for Seppo as well. Awesome.
Focus. Get rid of any of those pressure thoughts and really center yourself, like where you're at and the shot you're throwing. Trying to just really let everything besides the basket bleed away.
On to hole 17, par 3, 457 feet. OB down the left side the entire way with a little bit of rough on the right side. You don't have room to swing a hyzer here, so you've got to play a nice straight to finish or even a flip shot to get down there and get enough distance. Or if you're eagle, you might just boost a mid. I don't
wow.
even know.
Look at this play.
I'm confused.
Looks like another layup.
I guess it is, but I'm surprised.
It doesn't have to be a layup. I mean, it's kind of a layup.
Kind of
No,
does
that's a
almost
layup.
have to be a layup.
I mean, he's got the power to boost it out there to give himself a circle 2 putt, and the way he's putting right now,
is he looking at scores?
He wasn't trying to boost
No.
that bad boy.
Is
Not
he
that
looking
time.
at scores, you think? Or is that just game plan all the way from the jump?
tough to say.
Either way, as this is great.
Nice
Either
shot.
way, what a play. I mean,
I love it.
he's beating the card by a couple, and he knows, I would say that he's score watching and saying, I'm going to be on a lead card tomorrow if I just even par out.
I don't know if I like it. I think he's throwing so well. This doesn't look to me like a real challenging shot for him. we'll see how it goes. I think stack up birdies. There's still a lot of golf to be played here in Vegas.
That is kind of the theme nowadays. If you're playing well, get as many as you can because somebody's going to be doing it tomorrow.
Eagle just cannot get that thing back on hyzer. That's drifting out there in circle 2, maybe even circle 3.
He just makes it from here. It's like, shut up, guys.
Get in.
Game plan worked to perfection.
Yeah, not losing one to Eagle. Dickerson's going to pick one up, though. I don't think he's missing that putt.
Seppo with a good look and an unfortunate result. Oh, come on. He throws his hands up in disgust. Able to smile through it, but that is a painful Jomez.
Ew, don't show us this.
Don't look, Paul. That is every bit as...
don't be doing that.
Yeah, that's just as bad as watching ESPN spot shadow an ankle roll or something. I don't even want to see it.
Ew.
And Chris picking up the birdie, the lone birdie on this card. But there were 29 others of those in the field. 30 birdies on this hole.
Wow.
It's a pretty big number for this 450-foot, 57-foot shot when the OB is just 28 to 30 feet left of the pin.
A few years ago, it was like one of the harder gets, and now it's just like
You have to.
change.
You got to get it. It just is to be in contention. This distance of a challenge for the player has to be something that's just in your wheelhouse.
Or you just birdie all the other ones and lay it up.
Sure.
That's an option too. It's like a little reward for yourself. After all these sick birdies, you can be like, let me just take a minute off here, get my head right for 18.
Signature hole on the property here at Wildhorse Golf Club, hole 18 at Innova, par 4, 720 feet. Do you play short or do you go for that second? It's not necessarily an island, but it kind of feels like it. Give yourself a shorter approach.
I feel like everybody's just going to do this little pitch layup because their power is in that elite level. You know, from here, they can still attack. And this is just an easy shot to where that little peninsula that a lot of people go, you can get some weird reactions on there.
Yeah, and Gannon looks like he's got that half layup pitch shot that Chris just showed him how to throw.
Yeah, it looked like a mid-range.
I know I go for the second little spot just because that shot into the green from back there is really difficult.
That's more of that full shot, which a lot of these players prefer. Seppo, he kind of is all gas, no brakes.
That is so wide.
Yeah, this one.
I don't think it can. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That is fortune smiling upon you. Seppo loving every bit of that. And we have our first ever JomezPro replay.
See it.
This
I
is
didn't
like
think it had a
0%,
chance, honestly.
2%, 4%, 100%.
Off the gunite, that never happens.
That is awesome.
Oh, you know he just had his heart up in his throat when he sees that thing
Sure.
release that far right.
And they just don't even make a disc slow enough for Eagle to pitch up at this distance. But he's picking his spots here very carefully, and that leaves that full approach.
Yeah, this is all of 420 in. Maybe even more.
Yeah, maybe more. He's pretty far short of the path.
Is that a layup again, though?
It's going to play like one.
Yeah.
Well.
It's between circle 1 and circle 2. That's a very scary putt. I do not see Eagle having a good opportunity of running that there.
Wow, so this is just a layup play, I would think.
Yeah.
No, maybe you can get a long look.
Oh, that's a layup.
Yeah, it is. So he's content.
I don't hate
Strong round. I mean, he's 10 under, isn't he?
Something like that. Well, he came in at a 10.
Oh, he's 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Dickerson has a chance to tie him right back up, though. Good shot here. Looks good.
Oh,
Sit.
sit.
Oh, look better than it was.
And that might be a tough angle. There's kind of a low ceiling from over there, potentially.
Yeah, but it's only like 20 feet. But you're right.
This needs to get down quick. Oh, yeah. Well done for Seppo.
I'd love to see him make that to finish the round.
Hardest hole on the course, 4.3 average.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. Just there's so many places you can go out of bounds. I mean, you can go out of bounds playing safe on the layup, as you know. I believe you laid up a couple years ago on the short, and then you rolled backwards, Obi. Was that not you?
It sounds like something I'd do, but I'm not sure.
There's a big score potential on this hole.
I'm glad Gannon laid up. We get to watch him again tomorrow.
And Seppo, what a finish there. Unfortunately, that spit out happened on 17. He bounces right back, gets the first ever Jomez replay, gets the birdie on 18.
I wonder how many birdies he had. Lots.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was...
Oh.
Boy.
Nate, you called it. How'd
I
you
don't know if the low ceiling was a factor.
Man.
Maybe.
It looked just like you just missed it. Plain flat out missed a 20-footer.
And clean, bogey-free round for Gannon. Impressive stuff. Tons of great putts, controlled shots, smart plays in different places. Gannon Buhr, he is going to be on our league group going into the second half of this event. And Chris Dickerson, that back nine, even par, really pumped the brakes.
There you have it. Eagle McMahon with a very slow back nine. Chris Dickerson with a very slow back nine. Gannon Buhr just setting it on fire. Like we said, it's the tougher nine, but he does not come away with the fire emoji. Up 40 places is one Drew Gibson, 13 under. And I heard he missed some short putts down the stretch.
Wow.
On the way to a 13 under. So just phenomenal throwing of the disc for Drew.
That is going to be an exciting card tomorrow.
Young card. Whoa.
Yeah.
Firepower.
Yes.
You know what, though? Watching Gannon play, we've all been there. He makes a couple really nice putts down the stretch. Adrenaline gets going, and you lose the round sometimes at the end. It's hard to come through after you do that. And I was very impressed with the way that he handled it. He said, you know what? Don't want the birdies. Going to take a couple pars. He's in the lead.
2 more rounds here in Las Vegas. Tomorrow we play at the Factory Store, and on Sunday the event will finish back on this course at Innova. We will have a champion for the first event of the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour season. Thank you so much to the Founders Club. You guys are the fuel to the Jomez machine. We love and appreciate you.